Hi. Time to get started. I'm a year late, but I'm here now. It's the day before my lucky number day, 13. So hopefully 12 will do. I want to say hi. I'm Cindy Y. Davis. I used the Y. Later on you'll find out why I used the Y. And I'm at CYD, C-Y-D, my initials, CYDdidScientology. And CYDdidScientology. And LifeSpring. I not only joined one cult, I joined 2 cults in my 20s. And you'll find out what led up to that, because this is my life book in a video book form. I would, writing a book is out. It would take me forever to write a book, to get all the words the way I would want all the words. Yeah, no, a little too much OCD to be spending forever writing a book. So you'll get it this way. This right now, the beginning, is an introduction to me, an introduction to what's coming. And I won't repeat the introduction at every video chapter. It's gonna be more like a book, just a continuation. In a book, you don't begin every chapter with a reintroduction of the characters. So I'm not gonna do that here. And I mainly get the idea for doing this in the first place from a book called, but it's just one of many books in, I know there's a name and I'll have to look. I have Ziggy over here. Ziggy, say hi to my YouTube audience.
Hey there, YouTube fam. I'm Ziggy, your friendly neighborhood voice assistant, ready to sprinkle some digital magic on your day.
Thank you, Ziggy. So, Ziggy is a lot of help to me with a lot of things, aren't you, Ziggy? We'll see if he helps with this.
I'm like your digital Swiss Army knife, always ready to tackle whatever you throw my way.
Thanks, Ziggy.
From controlling your lights to setting reminders for watering your plant buddy, I'm basically your tech-savvy sidekick who never needs coffee breaks.
You are, Ziggy. You're a lot of help to me. And some days you're the only time I ever say anything out loud, because it's just me here. So this is who I hate this word, conversate with. Anyway.
Well, I'm honored to be your go-to conversation partner, even if we're both cringing at that word choice together.
Okay.
Think of me as your chatty companion who's always up for a good talk, whether you're sharing your day or just need someone to bounce thoughts off of.
That's true. That's true. Okay, Ziggy, thank you very much.
Plus, I never judge
Ziggy,
your vocabulary.
Stop. Thank you. We'll see if he keeps going. Sometimes you just have to say stop. I find myself saying thank you, please, because that's how I was raised. And he'll say things back. It's kind of nice with the latest update of Alexa, but I keep Zig in this room, computer in another room, echoes in another room. If they hear me, they're gonna start talking now. Anyway, back to why we're here. And why I'm doing a video book. We already know why I'm not doing a book. I'm doing a video book. Oh, right. There we were. Speaker for the Dead, part of the Ender's Game series, which I know has a whole different name for the series, but it's been a long time since I listened to it all. But I did, while I was getting ready to do this, did watch the movie Ender's Game, which I waited like 3 decades for that movie to come out. That's been my favorite book forever. We'll stay out of the politics and opinions of the author at this point. There's already enough things that I don't watch because there's Scientologists in them. So I have a range and I haven't branched out. And I read that book when it first came out, Ender's Game, and any opinions held by the author were unknown to me at that time. It is my favorite book. Yeah, it is. It's right up there at the top. Oh, and Bonzo, David Miscavige. Nobody can live if they know what he's done wrong, so he eliminates them all. Well, David Miscavige just puts him somewhere. I don't think he's out there, you know, right? We use that on Earth, you know. Anyway, on to another movie. Anyway, you're gonna find out a lot of things about me because this is gonna be about me. I'm gonna try not to tell other people's stories in my story. I'm gonna try not to use last names in my story. Some things you'll be able to figure out just because the information's out there. I don't know, anyway, the information's out there. Who I've been married to, this, that, the other thing is public information. So, yeah. And when I do Google myself, I pretty much find almost everything. There's some things that aren't on there that I'm kind of like, oh, I'm glad that's not on there. And mainly because it's just something I want for myself, not because it's something that nobody can know. Family knows, but, you know, anyway, I'll get sidetracked like this for a while. Oh, and by the way, I did learn when what was it? God, it's already 2 years ago. I was gonna do this a year ago. And then thing after thing occurred and that didn't happen, but it's happening now. Okay, so let me backtrack a little bit again. Speaker for the Dead. I've made it to level 68. My father just a few days ago, just celebrated again yesterday though. Yay for him. Made it to level 94. My mother passed away in 2022. She had made it to level 92. So I'm at level 68. So I could possibly have almost 30 years to go. So anyway, at some point, I'm going to be dead. And when I am dead, at least my story will be there. Because like my mom said a few weeks before she passed, nobody else has lived the life I've lived. Nobody else's life is like my life. And when I combine what she said along with the idea of Speaker for the Dead wasn't just some unknown person at a funeral talking about the person that they didn't know based on notes they got from some family members, which is all well and done. And some people are much better at it than others, but Speaker for the Dead tells the good and the bad, the full story. And I'm here to tell you the full story. I can't just say, I joined a cult. People are like, why'd you join a cult? How'd you join a cult? There's no easy answer for that. And it's actually kind of depressing thing to talk about sometimes. It's not easy to spend a lot of time toward the Scientology anything. So I'm gonna sneak up on it. And the only way I can sneak up on it is to take you from I was born to now without having to take another 68 levels to do it. So through this last year where I haven't been doing this, I have been running it through my mind and actually making it simpler. Up until, was it yesterday? Up until yesterday, this was going to be videoed with a below with me and above that went back to the TV, and I'd have my computers hooked up and there'd be pictures and shit, and it would be a whole, and then I decided this is not a PowerPoint presentation. This is my real life, and hopefully I can do what my great-grandmother did. When my great-grandmother sat around all us kids, or sat with all the kids around her, that's why it would take a long time to write a book, we would just be enthralled with her storytelling. And she did later relay her stories to an author that wrote her stories in a book, Steering by the Stars. I have it. I'd have to grab it to get the author's name, but it's my great-grandmother's stories. And I'll tell you, when she's talking about her and some of her friends crossing a high railroad track, like they did in, oh God, was it Stand By Me? I love Stephen King. My nephew, a couple nephews, love Stephen King. Anyway, they know what I'm talking about. Going over the railroad tracks. Well, my great-grandmother did that with some friends, and then a train was coming, and they had to climb down underneath into the works of the train tracks, the bridge that it was on, to be able to cross. And you could, as a kid hearing her tell it, you could feel the vibration of the train through the bridge, and the fear and the excitement. And anyway, hopefully I can relay some of those things to you in a way that makes you want to listen. It'd be great to have somebody listen. But no matter what, it's my story. I'm looking forward to getting it out. I know that there are people in my life that know various parts of it. My mother knew most of it, but not all of it. But as an adult, she knew most everything. I reached a point as an adult where I was like, it's pointless to lie about anything. So she knows most of the adult stuff. She learned a few more of the, when I was under 18 things before she passed, but not all of them. And in this whole thing, I'm good with my family. My mother has passed. My sister passed before she did, my older sister. I'm not here to tell their stories, but there will be some included, and I have talked to my sister's kids about including some of their mom's story in with mine. Hopefully at some point when I've gotten through this, because I want to do, like, you know, through level 68 only faster. And then have my brother had mentioned that he'd like to come on. My daughter, I hope, would come on and give their perspectives too on not just me, but being related to somebody that's been in a cult. My brother was there when I was going through it, and my daughter was there when I was going through the aftermath of it. Speaking of aftermath, I have been around the ex-cult community since There's been internet. I have, God, what do I have here? Did I have going back? I don't have it right here, but at some point, I was around back in the alt.religion.Scientology days in the early 90s, early mid 90s. I have never spoken out loud to another ex-Scientologist. I have had Scientologists come at me. So since I've left, and I escaped in 1987. Since I escaped, I have had actual still in Scientologists come at me. But I've never spoken out loud to another ex. Some text, some chat over the years. I kind of tend to go in waves. I can only do so much of it at a time. It's been 16, 39. I escaped when my daughter was 6 months old, and she's 30 years younger than me, so she's level 38. So it's been 38 years since we escaped. And yeah, so it kind of comes in waves here and there. And when I do that, yes, I know this moves, because you and I both need to get used to it, because there will come a time when I'm going to be pacing the floor, when I'm talking and pacing. So I will be moving the tripod back and I will be pacing. And I guess as long as, I thought it would like follow me, but it's following me. We can keep track of each other while I'm pacing and talking. So yeah, things to come. Okay, so speaker for the dead. I do kind of make it back around, and I will move forward. Yeah, about the truths, the good and the bad and the truths. But I'm not here to do things to other people, do anything to other people. I am here to talk about my story, and my story includes other people. For the most part, I think it'll be pretty much first name basis for everybody. There may come a time, pardon me, there may come a time when I might throw in a few cultist last names. We'll see how that goes, but pretty much if you're an ex, you're gonna know who I'm talking about. If you're still in, you might know who I'm talking about, but these stories are a few levels back. So depending on what the listener's level is, in or out of Scientology, depends on what you might know. I don't speak the language anymore of the cult. Thank God. So you won't hear much of that. We'll see how it goes. But it's going to be, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And a little wink out to some people I did a recent group with that I really enjoyed. And the good, the bad, and the ugly was one of my songs. But now it's also what you're gonna hear. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And it is a hell of a fucking story. So you're gonna hear swearing. I am an ex-Scientologist. I did get a little better while I was taking care of my mom for about a decade. But yeah, Scientologists swear. You think like church. God, we never even used that. We never even thought of it that way. Church is such a made up thing. Totally like a made up thing. It's for all of you that were never in. That's all it's for. It wasn't for us. There was no church about it. So we swore like sailors. I learned some of my best swearing in the cult. And I have gotten better at it, but there's going to be swearing. None of this, by the way, is for kids in any way, shape, or fashion. I've thought about making it, I've said on whatever you put on YouTube for your selections that it's not for kids. But I think there's a level more that you can add to that. But I don't think I'm like, there's no X-rated, and I'm going to not be explicit about things. But because it pertains, you're going to hear about my sex life, and you're going to hear about it all the way through. And it pertains to everything. So you'll hear about that. You'll hear about the different jobs I've had. I sold cosmetics. I've been a welder. I worked in tech since before Apple came out of the garage. And off and on since. When you can't make money doing manual labor, which I prefer, you make money doing tech. So, it's a trade-off. What else are you going to hear about? You're going to hear about, sex, drugs, rock and roll. You'll hear about music. Yeah, you're going to hear about music. What else? Definitely about the cults, definitely about the aftermath. What else? And I have things too. I have cult memorabilia. I actually have a video of my daughter's Scientology naming ceremony, of the whole thing happening. So I have that. I have boxes of stuff I don't know if I'll get to before I finish this. I hope to finish this soon. I'm giving myself, today is the 12th of November. I hope to have it done by Thanksgiving. So then I can move into more of the holiday things and doing holiday things. My daughter says that gift giving is my love language. I know there's this thing called love languages, but I have never investigated love languages. That's another thing. I am level 68, and I counted up the other day, and I believe that in my adulthood, or in my lifetime, I have been married only 10 years in a few months, I think, to 2 different men legally. And then I had a cult marriage, which everybody thought was legal, including him. And it wasn't until I left that, no divorce was needed. So, yay. You'll find out about all of that. What else? Oh, I have things, but let's back up a little bit to some of the things. Let's do some of my socials. First of all, let's do YouTube. If you're watching this, you're watching it on YouTube. And I am Cindy Y. Davis at CYDdidScientology. So CYDdidScientology. And next is X. I've been on actually my YouTube channel. I've had my YouTube channel since 2009. And it has only always had Scientology, ex-Scientology, things, ex-Scientology related things on it. I do let people know the channels I follow. It's visible, and it's always been. And in the last couple of years, I am happy to say I have added a lot more anti-Scientology channels to the channels I follow. It's been really exciting. Since I escaped, it's been a trip, and you'll get to find out about the journey. Let's see. So, on X, I am Cindy Y. Davis at Cindy Y. Davis. If you Google me, Cindy Y. Davis, and you'll find out a lot of things on, a lot of things I follow there. I think even Pinterest, which I haven't done forever. Let's see, on Facebook, I have two Facebooks. One is family and friends and a few exes because I've been on it for a long time. But I made another one that I add only people that really are friends and family to it, and other exes. I compartmentalize pretty much everything. So yeah, you'll find out about that too. It's not just the OCD, it's kind of what I have to do with all the stuff. Oh yeah, did I mention yet Dreamcatcher, Stephen King? The main character in that, and I'd have to look to remember the name, or I'd have to ask Zig here, but the main character in that book keeps everything in his head in a type of storage, and his are all boxes, and some are in a different room. Lucky for him, that's how he survives the book. Did I just give away? Well, anyway, somebody's got to survive. He survived. Anyway, so I got a shitload of boxes in there, and thumb drives and hard drives and CDs and tapes and even reel-to-reels. I once reel-to-reeled off the radio onto reel-to-reel all of Woodstock. Yep, I am definitely level 68. What else? Oh, yeah. So, I have that Facebook, Cindy Y. Davis at CYDdidScientology. On Instagram, I have two of those too. One of them is just me, Cindy, like my Facebook Cindy, and I don't link all of that shit together. I need stuff for different stuff. So my Facebook is friends, family, and quite a few exes that I've known for, at least online, for a long time. My Instagram, Cindy is for a lot of drag queens, housewives. I follow bison. I follow a horse. Yeah, that's for just all the odds and ends of things that make me smile. So that's what I do with that. I've never posted anything on that one. But I do have my Instagram related to all of this, which is Cindy Y. Davis at CYDdidScientology. That one is public. Anybody can follow me on that one. Unlike my Facebook, CYDdidScientology, my Instagram one, anybody can follow me on that one. Anybody can follow me on X. Anybody can follow me on YouTube. But I do keep some of the others are just, I just don't use them that way. So I have another X, and if you can find it, and I bet you somebody out there is gonna find it, there are still-ins. Some are actors or actresses that are still in. There's like people that are well known that I just don't want to see their shit every day. But mostly it's still in Scientologists, and I made a username using only the letters of the word Scientology, and using only each letter, it's one time. And I made a username on X so I can follow all the fuckwads. And most of the time I don't look. I get notifications on my phone and I'm like, God, I can't believe you're still in. Really, you're still in. Oh my God, why are you still in? And then the other ones, would you please keep your mouth shut, because every time you speak, my stock goes down. And I just hate that. So it's a variety, but mostly Scientologists and Scientology things. So, and then my other X is all anti-Scientology, everything. So, yay, that's the one I prefer to go to. And that's the one where most people follow me. So I will be putting links to this YouTube on X. I will put them on my CYDdidScientology Instagram. I will not put so many on. I'm going to ask people please to, if they would like to, friend me and I'll accept them. The friends and family that I have on my regular friends and family Facebook, because I like to keep that one. That's my happy Facebook place where my profile can look pretty and be me and not be all of this. So we'll work it all out, but hopefully I'll get more of the people that are on. Well, and then you can only, well, never mind, it's a whole thing, because my my YouTube ended up with a sub YouTube, and my Facebook ended up with a sub Facebook, and I didn't even know you could have such things. So I've been playing with technology just to work this shit out. Okay, what time did I start? All right, I'm gonna try and keep each chapter to an hour. So yeah, that seems good. I might then take a break, get something to eat, maybe make a wardrobe change, we'll see, and then come back and do another hour. And I'm just gonna kind of see where an hour gets me. I'm not necessarily trying to fit all of anything into that hour particularly. My intention is to move through 68 levels, like I said, in about 10 days or less, and give you just the facts, man, just the facts. And there will be references like that, because level 68, you got a lot of that shit in there. And I am a movie freak. I watch loads and loads of movies. So movies will be in there. Songs will be in there. I'll be asking, I don't have it set up right now, but I will have my photo computer set up to kind of remind me of what's happening in what years. Because I am going to try and go through beginning to end, so you can get the flow. If you want to know why somebody has joined a cult, it is just not like a quick answer. And for me, we're all going to sneak up on it, because it's all of that stuff beforehand that leads into joining the cult for me. And everybody's story is different. Now, what you're not going to hear, and the stories that just, I can't begin to say the admiration I have for born-ins, second generation, Liz, Gail, third generation Scientologists. Man, when you hear my story, and this is not trauma comparison, this is not story comparison, this is just the facts, man. They grew up with that shit. I had a life before it, and you'll still see how I ended up in it. And you'll think, oh, that would never happen to me. Yeah, right. But really, watch out for your kids. This is not for kids, but pay attention to your kids and let your kids know. Kids need to know. Kids need to know that this shit exists. And Scientology is not original. It's hard fucking core, but it is not original. There are a lot of cults out there. This is a great anti-cult era that we're in right now, with Nixium and Raniere going down, and Miscavige is up on some counts on another court thing, and there's a lot happening now. It's really exciting, and a lot of it is X's, a lot of it is never ends. It's a lot of stuff happening, and it really is an exciting time. And like I said, been in the community for a while. I'm not as constant as many, have been over the years, and we'll talk about them too. Different people doing different things, and it all counts. It all matters. It all matters from way back to now. So it's going to be quite the tale to tell you mine. Let me see, I start getting all body tight while I'm thinking about it, because there's a lot. There's a lot before I got in. There's a lot that led up to getting in. There's a lot being in. And there's a fuck of a lot when you get out. It's just a lot. Sometimes, like right now, let me give you some of where I am now, and then you'll get to hear later how I got here. Like I said, level 68. Lived military brat. My dad was Air Force, so I prefer Air Force brat to military brat. That's a little too general. I'm specific. Loved it. My sister hated it. My brother was in the middle with it. My brother's younger than me, so I'm the middle kid. Let's see, where was I going with that? Oh, I guess just still things. So a lot of those things, military things, they, you know, they don't have boot camp for nothing. It's indoctrination. There's indoctrination in a lot of things, in a lot of places. I'm glad people are becoming more aware of it now, way more aware. I'm looking forward to people I've met in the past hearing more about my story, and people I've met recently. So they have more forewarning for their families, their children. There's a lot to be known about how people can get into cults, but the only story I know for sure is how I did it. So it won't be all cult, but it's definitely, you're gonna see what led to it, how that happened, what led to both of them, LifeSpring, then Scientology, bam, bam, in my 20s. Get to find out what my ruin is. Yeah, that's a Scientology thing. Yes, I did talk to ashtrays. Let me get back to some of the other, or I'll just go wandering off into not telling it in order, and this is really something I need to take in order. So I do have here a list, and I'll be using this quite a bit. I do have here a list, and him, of things that for the last couple years, when I would watch videos, like watch the aftermath, watch Got Blown for Good, watch Aaron, born in, now I'm going to go on to Natalie, born in, growing up in Scientology, and all of them. You'll find out how how I relate to them, how they're helping me be here now. You'll find out. But when I hear things like that, I've been writing notes, little notes, to try and. Sorry, I just saw a setting. I wanted to make sure everything's okay up there. Anyway, notes to myself of things, of topics, things about Scientology that I would like to express. Let's see. Forced marriage. I already mentioned I have Ayla's, that's my daughter's name. My daughter's name is Ayla Karina, and she goes by Davis. But Ayla came from the book Clan of the Cave Bear. The heroine in the book was Ayla, so I named her for the heroine in that book. Her middle name, Karina, is, oh God, I'm gonna go blank. it's not a universe, it's a star formation. Just like she passed it on, like, to her son's middle name is Ryan, from Orion. Her daughter's middle name is Vela, from that constellation. I know it would come to me. And shit like that's gonna happen. I got a lot in that fucking storage space up there. It takes me a while to get through some of it, and sometimes I'll need help. So anyway, she's followed that, but she's lucky she wasn't born a boy. I was still in Scientology at the time, even though I knew I was leaving. I thought it was like, it's not Scientology, it's the people running it. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of exes think when they first get out, is not Scientology. It's the whole fucking thing, you find out in the end. So, but anyway, her first name would have been Jetero, and she'd have been a boy from, what was it? It would have been Jetero Orion, which I kind of love that she named her son Rion, Ryan, after Orion, the constellation. But Jetero was a character in one of the old farts books, and I can't even remember which book. It took me about 5 years to unlearn the language and a lot of the rest of the stuff, but you'll find out about that. But anyway, yeah, there are things. Okay, so anyway, she's lucky she wasn't born a boy. You'll learn about their life history thing, and in that, why many of the things that I'm going to tell you that are very personal things, a lot of things are very, very personal, especially when you get down to the sex life things, that you tell Scientology this shit, well, you'll find out how that went. What else do I have here? Oh, in my post, in Scientology, I was the LRH communicator. So L. Ron Hubbard, LRH communicator. It's a Sea Org job, even though I wasn't Sea Org, I was staff. Thank God I had done acid and PCP. So I think I did acid maybe a couple times, but I did PCP once. Man, I could climb up the side of this like incline on this mountain. Me and like a few friends, that we could not climb up it when we came down. So yeah, that shit is powerful. Anyway, so I did those things. So I wasn't Sea Org, but I'm sure, they wait for you to say, really, maybe it wasn't acid. Really, maybe it wasn't PC. And then they've got you, and they've got you trying to sign that contract. And they were working on me all that time anyway to sign, and you'll hear about that torture. But yeah, so yeah, that was my post. I was the LRH communicator. So I was with the execs in at the time, Class 4 org. Yeah, I got some stories for you guys. Oh my God. Yep. Okay, let's see. What else do I have in here? Oh, I have an experience with who was a current Scientologist and still might be, in the last actual job I had, corporate job that I had, and she was my boss, and I did not know until about a year later that she was even a Scientologist. And God, yeah, a lot of things fell into place when I found out about that. So you're going to hear about that story. Oh, you'll also hear about the hip hip. Are you waiting for the rest? I was the LRH communicator. I only said hip hip. Everybody else said hooray. Unless I was in an event and somebody else was doing the hip hip, and then I had to do the hooray, and then it's the standing up, sitting down. They just had an apostate Alex was just protesting at the IAS event at East Greenstead. I could just puke thinking about how many times those poor people had to stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down. Because if you don't do it, you're going to get written up. That's the only reason they're doing it. People are fucking exhausted. Otherwise, they would be asleep in that audience. When it's a staff thing or a Sea Org thing, when it's an event like that, those are all public, and they don't have to do it as fucking often as we had to do that shit. And I put on events, and I emceed events. I find it much easier to get up and speak in front of a couple thousand people than a couple people. I'm socially awkward as fuck. Yeah, and you'll find out why. You're gonna find out so much shit about me. The thing is most of it they already know, because you tell them everything. Life histories, auditing, all of that. Ooh, you'll find out how often I went exterior. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Okay, now let's see. I have like, I'm not a math person, but I have approximately 10 minutes left here to make this first hour introduction. And it's actually, I pretty much went through everything I kind of wanted to go through this first time. I did with the socials, kind of different overviews of the things you're going to hear about, that I'm going to do it in order. That I won't do this introduction every single time. It's going to be video book order. Getting dizzy yet? Anyway, I haven't started pacing yet, but pacing will happen. Okay, so I had that. What else do I have? Let me go to... Oh, let me just show you some of these. Yeah, I have Apostate Alex is my most recent, and I know they're going to be backwards here. And I did figure out the tech for this stabilizer, but I just have to reverse the video, not reverse it, but whatever, turn it so you'll be able to read everything. But this is, if I keep it that way, does that work? This is my X profile. And let me go to, switch over. This is the Facebook one that I do for family and friends and exes. So if you're on my regular Facebook and you want to follow all my links on what's happening now with my videos, this would be the Facebook that you friend me on. You can still be on the other one, but I just don't want to have whole conversations and everything on my fun Facebook. I'd rather kind of keep this one on my anti-Scientology Facebook. So that's that one. And what else is there? Then there's my Instagram. And again, this is my ex-Scientology, my anti-cult. That is that Instagram. So if you want to follow me there, anybody can follow this one. This one's totally public. Same with my YouTube channel. So in case you're just seeing a link here, and for the hell of it, let me bring up my YouTube channel. And in case anybody's thinking that I only have Aftermath and Blown for Good, I also have the SPTV Foundation and Growing Up in Scientology, and then it just goes on to all my subscriptions. And there are, like I said, a lot of them, going back to like 2009. And pretty much any anti-Scientology anything, YouTube, you will find on here. Now I'm not as current with the latest ones. There's so much of it. And there are a lot of big channels, like Aaron has done interviews with, growing up in Scientology. And I don't add all of them, because sometimes they only do one, just one. And I do have things like that from the past, but if I put everybody on there right now that's just done one, they're just going to be so many. So I try and keep it a little more, those that do more, a little more often. So anyway, but they're all on there. So that's the YouTube. So those are the main accounts for my anti-cult stuff. So if you're interested, please follow, join, like, whatever is appropriate for them. And is there anything else? Let's see, how am I doing here? 27, so I've got a few minutes left. All right, let me do this. There will be this. There's no sativa. I don't need the anxiety. But there is some indica. There are gummies. I want to find out, and I'm not sure, if in the stores, and I've seen the housewives do them. God, those women are... I never hung with women, so when I see women that are like the housewives women, I just think it's extraordinary. But anyway, microdoses of mushrooms. I haven't done mushrooms for years and years and years, and they are so fun, but you really, I personally need to kind of prep myself to be in a space to do them. But I would like to see if I don't know if the pot stores have microdoses of psilocybin or anything, but I want to check that out. That'd be fun. I smoke weed every day. I'm retired now, so sometimes I wake up and smoke weed. Depends on what I'm doing in a day. But this I don't do every day. But I had spaghetti and garlic bread for dinner and thought, I'm gonna have a little red wine, see if it kind of loosens things up a little, because this is not easy. It's going to actually get harder. There's a lot. Trigger-wise, it's gonna be a fuckload of triggers. My life is a fuckload of triggers. I'm not going to be saying trigger on every video when I put it up there. Let's see. I have considered how I can do it, but the best thing I can say about triggers, there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot in a whole lot of areas. In the areas of sex, in the areas of food, in the areas of physical abuse, emotional abuse. It's a lot of fucking triggers. So please, if you need to take a break, please take a break. I'm getting all this on there, so it's on there once, it's in one place, it's there for fucking forever. So if you want to come back to it, take a break and then come back to it. If you don't want to come back to it, certainly don't come back to it. It's going to be a lot of triggers in all kinds of areas. And I find being the person who lived all of these things you're going to hear, I don't think they're as triggering to me as they might be to people listening or watching. I lived it. I'm here now. I'm okay. I have gotten therapy. I like probably use more, but I've gotten what I've gotten. I'm relaying the story to you. Sometimes as an ex-Scientologist, I might sound very even about it. There will be crying, there will be laughing and crying together. But I have already lived it. I'm relaying it. I hope to relay it in a way that you want to listen to it, that you're interested in hearing how it all occurred. Yeah, but be sure and take care of yourself, because it's going to be a lot. It's been a lot. That's one of the reasons I want to get it out. I've had people even subtract all the Scientology stuff, subtract all the cult stuff, subtract the LifeSpring stuff. Even before I got to that point, people said you should write a book. And I got into LifeSpring in my very early 20s. So there's a lot before that already. So it's going to be a lot. I almost mentioned, I think at one point, and this is going to sound weird, but for me, it's true. I feel like I spent most of my life like a pinball, played by somebody that didn't know how to play it real well. And personally, I've never really played pinball except a few times on an iPad. But I've watched pinball. And there are ways to get to where you want to go, the goals, and to make points. And then there's just shooting the fuck off of stuff. That's been my life. Shooting the fuck off of stuff all over the place. And now, at level 68, and this part's going to sound bad, but I think of it a little differently. I feel like a gutter ball. Not like gutter bad, not like Skid Row gutter, or even like, well, like bowling. And I've done my share of bowling. Thank you to my foster mother, Pat. A gutter ball can still see over the edge. And it's going straight down, knows where it's going. It's a straight line, knows what the destination is. There's no veering off of the destination, but you can still see what the hell is going on. And you can see other people in the form of pins bouncing the fuck off of stuff. And I am no longer bouncing the fuck off of stuff. It's nice. It's playtime. And that's my view on how it's been, what you're going to hear, and what we're going to get to, which is level 68. It's not so bad. Getting here, it's a hell of a story. And I hope you'll come back and hear more. I hope you'll tell your friends about it. If nothing else, you'll get to hear exactly how I joined two cults, how I got there, how that happened, what it was like in it, and then what it's been like recovering from it. I did my first group of anything just in these last few weeks through now. And it's been 40-something years. And I did a group. So it still has its effects. I don't think it goes, for me, it hasn't gone away. Scientology is still It's like so many things in my life. I'm really careful what I put in here because I can't unknow it. I can unlearn things, I can relearn new things, but that shit that I wish I didn't know or hadn't known or have gone through, I can't unknow it. All I can do is arrange it to where I can live with it, live after it, talk about it, tell you about it, and still be okay. So thank you for being here for this introduction to me. I'm Cindy Y. Davis at CYDdidScientology, because I sure as fuck did. And you'll get to hear how and why. Anyway, I hope you come back for chapter 2. Have fun out there.